Chomp it, chomp it, chomp it, chomp it. All right, welcome once again to the Shlicketty Doocast. Hey, we're at episode 59. Doing good, let's throw it. Let's get it out of the way. Whew. Oh man, what a day, hot. All right, well, we got stuff. That's about a wrap. Nice seeing you folks. See you later, I'm out of here. No, I'm not. Here's Mike, Let him in, let him in. Point, 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 point. Oh, we got stuff. Oh, you're holding a GoPro. Look at that. We got an extra camera. Look, budget's looking good. Look at that. We got cameras taking cameras. We're going to open a vortex. It's almost like when you look at a mirror, when you hold a mirror up to a mirror and then you remember those? You go, wow, we're going to make it goes all the way back. Look at how far back it goes.
I probably should shut off the beeps, but yeah.
It's beeping. It's beeping. That's cool, though. No, we're doing good. Speaking of which, we're doing good because, hey, we moved up a tier. Oh. And that tier means, well, we're almost there, kids, but there's a little option here on the old YouTubies. So if you look down there, there's a little, you scroll, there's the post. Sometimes I'm going to be posting stuff down there, and I'm trying to get you idiots in there and saying something, because I want you all to interact. I'd like you all to talk and meet each other. To be cool. Check out some other pods. Maybe just talk some people, whatever. Maybe make a little community down there of Doocasty doo-doo heads. But also you'll see down there what we call, it's called a membership tier. So if you want to you want to get an episode of the pod early, if you want inboxed, we'll do shout outs for you. You go up another tier, you get all kinds of, they're like 99 cents a month, and nothing crazy. It's just pocket change to most people. You get that in the arm of your couch. No big deal. But if you want to do it, it would be a help to us. If not, no big deal, but you get some extra accoutrements, if you will. I might, we'll connect you with the socials. We might give you like I said, shout outs, unsolicited dick pics.
No, not that.
No?
Not that, no.
Okay.
No, the lawyer said we cannot do that.
That's right.
In some states, it's illegal.
Right.
Yeah.
Toe pics, finger pics. No, guitar pics. Yeah, so you never know. Say you'll get some extra fun. We'll make it worth your while, believe me. We might even pull you out of the woodworks and, big spenders might even be a guest.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, yeah, you could join at a certain level and be a co-producer.
Right. Hey, money talks. You got enough money, we'll put your name on the marquee. Look at that. You can go back there. You can stand behind me for a certain fee.
You can sponsor the show, man. We'll put Slickly Doocast brought to you by.
Yeah, brought to you by, yeah. Yeah, so who knows, or if you have a friend or family member who's, in some kind of business and you want them to advertise on us, send them our way. Emails down there, who cares? It's cool, it's all cool. We'll keep it under the table. You get a good rate, it's all good. But we're moving up in the world, guys, and it's all thanks to you. So thanks for being doo-doo heads.
Yeah, thanks for listening, thanks for watching.
That's cool, that's good stuff. Well, we're out of here, Mike, we're done. Our work's done here.
We have achieved all the goals.
All right, we're done, yeah. Good chunk. Push the time clock.
Yeah.
Lucky and I are out of here. Lucky's getting deported next week, so
yeah,
keep him happy. Shout out to Glurfenglogen, and Fleecen, Flossen, Flufen, Vermagnuson. A couple folks. Well, they're our friends from Stockholm, Sweden, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they work for the IKEA catalog. I don't know.
Oh, really? All right. Well, cool.
Flirten, Flogen, Fleissen, Flauschens.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
What else do we got? It's hot out there. We know that.
Summertime.
You guys grilling? You chilling? You and I did a grill out the other week.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, he came on over and did the grilling.
Yeah, just hanging out in the backyard, I mean, the weather's kind of been like so humid that it's almost you don't want to be outside.
No, we went outside and grilled and then came in the air conditioning. Yeah, we were running back to the air conditioning.
Yeah.
My dogs are barking.
Yeah. I keep hoping at some point the kind of super high humidity will kind of go away and we kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's heading. Yeah, now that we're heading towards the 4th here, past the 4th, I think it's supposed to stay all clam in Clamsburg, but I don't know.
Oh, really?
I think for another week, but that's all right.
I think like yesterday was good. I was at work at the new job and went outside on break and it was like, this is what summer's supposed to feel like here, you know?
Yeah, I'm down into my basement office and I'm freezing my ass off down there, and then I go outside and it's like, ooh, it's like a big warm hug. And it's like, and then when I went back down, I was like, it's kind of cold in here. I need to get back out there to the warmth. I was actually kind of craving the warm, humid hug.
I mean, definitely, yeah. There's that at times where definitely it's nice to, it's almost like jumping in the pool on a hot summer day. You know, you kind of go from the one extreme to the other.
Yeah, it was nice. It was kind of cool. I like it. I'm all right though. Summertime in Erie, Pennsylvania is pretty good, pretty fun, pretty nice.
I mean, it's better than the alternative, but yeah, it's a little thick and humid at this point.
Yeah. I beat the heat too. I haven't although it's been in the 90s and humid as fuck. Remember, everyone knows Aaron doesn't wear shorts. I hate shorts. I want to ban them, get rid of them. But I figured out the golf pant. You golfers, I don't know if anyone, you guys know did you know the golfers figured it out years ago? I got myself some of these, well, I'm wearing jeans today, but normally, like when it's hot out, like I'm wearing these thin golf pants and they look like slacks. You know, they look like nice dress slacks.
Yeah, these days they do,
Yeah, and they're super thin and they're breathable and like, whew, I felt like I was walking around naked. Like, they was like, wow, these are light.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's definitely the thing.
And they're wrinkle-free and the cat hair or dog hair is not sticking to them, so they have like some kind of weird repellent that the hairs aren't sticking to them. They're wrinkle-free even, so I'm not ironing them.
Well, no.
You just slide them on. It's like, wow, these look like dress pants. Look at this.
Slide on, slide off. Yeah, no, I think it's all sort of in the realm of microfibers.
Yeah, something new. Yeah, it's this newer shit. This was not around 6 years ago, or at least not to the public. Now, golfers probably had some weird, expensive pro shop secrets, that were probably, $200 slacks in the old pro shop that the rich guys got. But
yeah,
they didn't trickle down to you and I.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I say, they were probably always out there, but, to the niche market. I mean, honestly, this is all probably stuff Tiger Woods developed fucking with
I found these at Marshall's, and they're all in the activewear, they're in the activewear things. And like I said, like you put on a t-shirt and sneakers with these pants, they blend right in. You could actually probably exercise in these. You can get on the treadmill and go, and then you could also probably put on dress shoes, a sport coat, and you could go out to dinner in them. They're the same pants. They look great across the board, and you're not sweating. And it's like, wow, where were these 20 years ago?
Well,
they didn't exist. Yeah, the fiber, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have the technology.
And T-shirts are all these wicking fabrics and thin and everything like that. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I had tried a lot of that, like you said, the sort of golfing stuff, where I was out in Phoenix. I was like, I'll start wearing shirts with collars. You know what I mean? So I got a bunch of those sort of like golf shirts that
kind of like polos with the little
the polos like 3-4 buttons or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was doing those for a while, but then I started to realize like they're just like polyester, right? Which doesn't breathe.
Sure.
It's lightweight.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's
lighter. Lightweight, but it's still holding in something. It's not breathing in a weird way. Sometimes a thin-ass cotton shirt will breathe better than some of those, spandexy things. Especially
out in Phoenix.
Yeah.
You definitely noticed that. So I kind of stopped messing around with those. In fact, I've got a drawer full of them. I was just looking at them earlier. Because I got to go out. I'm working over the weekend here.
You might got a second job. Look at him, Mr. Worker.
Yeah.
Yeah. No deporting for you.
Cameras are expensive, man. Like we gotta get more cameras.
There's no Lowe's. There's no Home Depot at 7 a.m. for you. No way. You are working for a living now.
Yeah. But the second job's sort of fun, So it's just sort of doing like, part party stuff.
Bouncy houses.
Yeah, a lot of bouncy
Like those
houses.
big inflatable castles you see. You know, the kids are all killing each other on.
Yeah, right now what's
You
popular
set them up
is-
and tear them down.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking. Poof.
And you're yawning already.
Yeah, because fucking going every day, man. So this is a big weekend, holiday weekend. So going out doing
yeah,
the
so a
thing.
lot of bouncy houses for rent out there.
Well, he's got like, you know, rock climbing walls. He's got some of the bouncy houses have the ones where, like, I went out on Sunday when we were doing it, and I was just doing the setups and stuff. I didn't do the whole day. I'm sort of easing into it. I'm jumping into it this weekend, hardcore.
Yeah.
But they have bouncy houses with like water slides. Right?
Fun.
So yeah, we were setting those up.
They're probably cool, and when you see them, it's like, man, do you admire them? Like, I wish I had these when I was a kid, because I remember bouncy houses, but they were kind of flim-flam when I was a kid.
Right, right, and they definitely weren't around when we were kids doing any of this sort of stuff. Like I feel like
Waldemir might have had something in the kids section where you had to take your shoes off.
Section.
Yeah,
yeah,
but there wasn't any like. Yeah, these giant things with water slides.
Yeah, we were definitely grown-ups by the time that sort of stuff came around.
Yeah.
I mean, to the sort of level where it's like, yeah, you just have one come for the party in the backyard with the kids for the birthday or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So we set up at this one house, and there were these two little kids. Oh my God, it was like it's like mostly like just like an inflatable water slide. It's like 20 feet high. Wow. You know what I mean? And the kids are just fucking up the little inflatable stairs and down the thing, you know.
Wow.
You know. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're like 5, 6, 7, 8, it's like.
I'm sure it's incredible fun.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's like that sort of stuff. But to wit, so you know, long work days, you know, coming up. So I was in the market for some, you know, lighter weight pants, you know, because it's humid, it's hot, and I'm gonna have to be outside and all that sort of shit, you know. You get sweaty and you know.
But you don't want the chafe.
Yeah,
you don't want the gooch chafe.
That's the whole thing, man.
Yeah,
It's
especially in those pants, and then you don't want your ball bag rubbing there, and then you get the chafe.
Which not only it's fine, but when you're sweating your ass off, because just standing in the sun, in the shade, it's nice, and there's a good breeze. But man, when you're in the direct sun, man, baking.
Yeah, especially you got a black shirt on. It's like, oof, here we go.
Baking like bacon, like. I like these shirts. These are these Gildan shirts. I'm probably messing with my mic. These are these Gildan shirts. I sort of stumbled across them. I got a 5-pack of Gildan t-shirts, you know what I mean, from Amazon or something like that. They got these blue heather ones. Fucking love these things.
Yeah.
These are great.
They're thin material, nice and thin.
These are, but I made a mistake a couple of months ago, and I was like, oh, order another 2-pack of these. They're heavyweight.
Ew.
I know.
Yeah, who wants a heavyweight t-shirt? The whole idea of a t-shirt is to have it thin.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I figured maybe they'll be good for in the winter.
Yeah, we all say that. Oh, layers, I'll wear it for a layer. Or, that'll be my painting shirt that we never put on.
Well, that ends up being the downgraded, like, basic solid color t-shirts.
Yeah. Yeah. The ill-fitters are the ones we spilled spaghetti stain on the front.
Well, that or more likely like some sort of oil from a cleaning thing.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yeah. And we got a drawer full. I got a drawer full of them. And it was always, this will be my painting shirt that I'm going to wear when I paint. And I don't think I've ever painted, let alone put on the shirt to paint.
You know, I was looking in my drawer, you know, for, you know, cool stuff, and you know, the T-shirt drawer. I had a bunch of Amazon T-shirts when I worked at Amazon.
With the Amazon logo?
Well, yeah, but it's an Amazon logo most people don't ever see.
Oh, it's not actually the one that looks like the smiley face penis?
It is, but you ever notice it goes from A to Z? Just saying.
Oh, I never noticed that part. It just looks like a smiley face penis to me.
Yeah, it goes from A to Z.
Oh.
Everything from A to Z. That's why the smile goes from the A to the Z.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, they thought of that one.
But so the place that I was in was like selling partner support. So it was helping people who sell on the platform, third-party sellers.
So you're helping third-party sellers. You're on the phone, but you're walking them through, like, say, I'm trying to sell my widgets, and the site's not working, and my PayPal's not connecting to my thing, and I'm going to call you on customer service, and you're going to walk them through what they're doing. And do you get to log onto their site with them at the same time so you can see what they're doing?
No. It's not their site. They're selling on Amazon.
Oh, so you get but you can kind of ghost over what they're doing too. So are you guys both on the same?
So
there
90% of it was like just education. People didn't understand things. Like the information's there, but people don't read it or they don't understand it. To wit, one of the most easy things on Amazon, they want the product photo on a white background.
Simple. You and I know that. I mean, come on. Yeah.
People don't get that because they're using a computer to read it. So if the computer goes in and takes a sampling and it comes out that it's like, you know, a really, really light pink, because the white balance is off in the camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but people don't get that.
But this was kind of back then. Now that they have AI and stuff like that, I wonder if it would be a lot more accurate, you know?
You know, there's things that I see on there that they do with images that I don't fucking understand. Like, you know, they can use the same photo of a model and use it for, you know, a million different styles of shirt.
Oh yeah,
they can
yeah.
just change the, you know, the shirt stuff. I'm like,
yeah, I would never understood. Yeah, that's a weird. Are they like green screen model shirts? You know what
It's
I mean?
like
and
that,
then you're swapping
yeah.
them out,
Yeah,
I know.
Well,
I know.
it's almost like in Photoshop where you can like just replace one color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they give you the eyedropper.
But the
and
shirt
replace
has
that color.
shades and everything like that sometimes too. So there's little shadows and stuff. So it's not all
know.
one color.
And then they do shit where, like, sometimes they have the shirt as if somebody's wearing it, but there's no one there. So it's like Invisible Man, and you can see the back and shit. You know, like I don't know how they're doing that either. Unless it's like, you know, I mean,
It's got to be like a green screen PNG overlay or something like that, maybe.
well, because even if it's a guy wearing a green screen, like a chroma key suit, like you ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like when he does Green Man, that's a chroma key suit.
Yeah.
So if you had a chroma key green background and a chroma key suit, you could literally do, like, remember in Beetlejuice where you know, they come back to the house and they're freshly dead and Gina Davis picks up the horse and does like this in front of the mirror and you can see just the horse going. You can do that gag with a green screen background and a green screen suit.
Yeah.
Whatever you pick up and move around, you know, you can make floating in the air or whatever, you know, because you can just green screen out the background in the suit.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how they're doing it. Or
Well,
I was picturing, here's what I would think they'd do. Like, I almost pictured, like, all right, you got the model in a shirt, and then you've got another picture of the same model in a shirt, and this one we're going to cut out the shirt, and this one we're going to cut out the model. So then you got the model over here who's got no shirt on and just the white outline or whatever, and this over here is the shirt. And this shirt, we're going to change it to red. Then we're going to change it to blue. Then we're going to, and you just overlay it.
Well, they actually get rid of the model.
Yeah.
Is the thing. It's like the T-shirt is in the shape of the person wearing it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like if it was just a model in a green screen suit with the shirt on, and then they go, okay, they you know, take out the green screen, right?
Right.
But still, how does it have? Because inside the collar, you can see the back of the shirt and stuff.
Yeah, there's depth
gonna
to
get
it.
that.
It's not flat. It's
Right.
not flat and lame.
No,
there's depth. I know.
It's shaped.
We do that too. Like I use certain sports templates for making a beer poster, and they'll have like this guy and this girl, and they're like rooting on a sports team, and they'll have like the
Insert
stripes.
sports team here.
Yeah, and it'll be like the colors will change, and then all of a sudden you'll see the same thing for like, oh, they're rooting on the Browns. They got the orange and brown, and then the next one they've got green and yellow for the you know.
Green Bay Packers. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
and it's the same exact picture,
Red, white,
but they're
and
all the
blue.
shirts.
Red, white, and blue for any of the New York.
Yeah, the color
teams.
schemes are different, and you go, huh? It's the same picture, but the color. What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, there's super specialized software. Like when I was in film school and we were learning editing, we were using the Avid Media Composer editing software. But they've also got, you know, and then of course there's Avid Pro Tools with the audio recording, right? But then their whole other division is software for broadcast, sports broadcasts, news broadcasts, all that sort of shit. Like lower thirds, packages, openers, stingers, all that sort of shit. Anyway.
Are we chewing the weeds for people? Sometimes I think people like this, our nerd talk, and other people go, what? What are they talking about?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
No, I think most of our fans, they think they like, you know, we got some foreign people that think I'm funny. But no, I think it's more, our American nerds are kind of like, they like our nerd talk.
Oh, well, I mean, you know.
Because I like to think we, even though we don't know a lot about anything, there's still kind of a learning thing that they get out of us. Instead of us talking about like, oh, the other day I was inflating a bike tire. You and I will get in the weeds and talk about bike tires, So, I think it's good.
I got a thing on bike tires.
There we go.
Well, I mean, it's not really a thing. It's just sort of like almost like an observational humor, like a Seinfeld-y type thing. So I'm looking at my bike tires the other day. Because,
Yeah, you've been riding, side note, Mike's been riding his bike early in the mornings.
All the time, like whenever.
Yeah, before the day gets hot, but that's kind of cool. I admire you for that. That's kind of cool. You're out there riding a bike, and you're a bigger guy, so the fact that you're getting out there and riding a bike, that's exercise. It's good for the soul.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm not kidding when I said to you, if you want to join a gym, let's go to the gym.
I know, it's getting to that point.
I like lifting weights. I like lifting weights. I like building muscle, but the only way you can build muscle is to max out, which you need a weight set so you can go, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 80 pounds till you can't lift anymore or whatever. You got to max out to build up. I don't want to have a whole fucking weight set. What's that? I got 1,500 pounds I got to move? Like, oh my God.
In the basement? Yeah, it's going to rot there, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I can't. So I kind of got to go to a gym for lifting. And then biking and shit.
Yeah, I think the biking's good. That's like jogging, but since we're older, it's like less impact on the bones. So I think the biking's kind of, you get your cardio and you get the visual of looking around, enjoying the scenery.
Well, yeah, because the place I live is like a nice sort of flat area where I can just sort of ride around and shit like that.
Yeah, you're kind of a suburban area.
Yeah. But it's relatively flat. Mostly everything here in Erie where we live is sloping down towards the lake. This whole place was dug out by the fucking glaciers at the end of the last ice age. It all fucking came down around this area. That's why all the Great Lakes are the way that they are. It's the turning of all the shit getting pushed in front of the glaciers and shit. So it just made this very so like the whole area going around the Great Lakes and into the Midwest it's really rich soil and stuff like that. So,
pretty good.
Archaeology. I took North American archaeology in college.
Learned stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but...
Wait, we know where we lost track. Let's see. You've been biking. You had the moisture-wicking shorts you got.
Right, because I'm doing the fucking
you
side
don't get
job.
the chates.
And then we were talking about the Amazon thing. I was doing the selling partner support with, advertising the shirts and how they do it.
Yeah.
Just messing with the images and stuff like that.
Yeah. Would you ever want to go back to a job like that? Did you like it?
The thing was, working for Amazon was actually pretty cool. It was actually cool. The only thing that sucked is when I had to turn around and put on the headset and take the calls because it was like rolling the dice. And the problem was, like this lady that had been there forever sometimes, like if we got into trouble, we call this like helpline, they connect you to somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. And there was this lady that knew what the hell she was doing, and every time you got her, she was always like, you got all these tools at your disposal and they don't teach you how to use them, She's like, here's what we're gonna,
Yeah.
And it was hard and frustrating to figure out the problem. Sometimes it was easy shit, and you just help the people, get them on their way, like explaining how the photos work. You know what the main thing was there? People thought it was eBay.
Oh.
And the main thing is with the images. So on eBay, you make a listing, you upload your photos, right? And that's how it is. And so people would contact and they go, somebody else is using my photos. Or they go, how come it's not showing my photos? Because the way the Amazon system works is there's only one set of photos for a product. If you're selling, like this product, this SD card case on Amazon, you submit photos for it. The best set of photos is going to become the set of photos for this item. Because the thing is, you don't have, and this is the weird thing that people don't get, you don't have an individual listing on Amazon unless you're making custom-made shit.
Right. Yeah, it's not
Any
Etsy.
manufactured product, right. Any manufactured product, you're all getting it from the same source, made in China.
Right.
Now, they can come in with different names on them.
Which I've seen that a million times. They could have that same thing you just held up.
Yep.
And
this guy's got like a little
Zuki, one's in Fufu.
Yeah, this guy's got a little embossed logo, Slinger, it says, in a little diamond embossed pattern. See it there a little bit or something like that. But it's like, yeah, you could get this with some other logo on it, or no logo on it, you know what I mean? And they're all coming from the same manufacturing place. And it's all run under Universal Product Code, the UPC, and that sort of shit. Yeah. So what ends up happening is when you go to sell shit on Amazon, the best set of photos wins. So if you want it to be your photos, you got to have the white background. Sure. And they got all these, rules about the photos and that sort of stuff. So yeah. So it just ends up being a little tricky technical thing, and that's mostly what a lot of the issues were. Yeah, and everyone thinks it's eBay, and they're like, "Well, I won't accept my pictures," and then they're calling up, "I got it, my listing. It's my listing." Yeah, like 70% of the time, the answer is it's not eBay. Yeah. Wow. So it was sort of interesting, and sometimes you get calls where it's like it's a nightmare. I had a call one time. Or somebody doesn't speak the language. You ever get somebody that's like, "Oh, they're from Indonesia," calling you or something, or? We were tier 3 support. That's actually our tier 1 and tier 2 support. It was actually India and Indonesia. But anyway, it was interesting. It was fun working for Amazon, but the actual job itself was like rolling the dice. You never knew what you were going to get. But at one point, I was sitting next to this kid that fucking knew everything. He knew all the ins and outs. He'd be like, "Watch this. You're not supposed to be able to do this, but here, I'll just go up here in the URL and type it in. Boom, forced it through." He's like, "It's a loophole in the system." I'm like, "Holy shit." Sitting next to that kid, it was like this. He'd be like at the end of the shift, and he'd be like, 2 minutes till we go. "What are you doing on that call over there?" I'm like, "They got this going on, this going on." He's like, nah, that's this over here." "What do they need to do?" "This." "Good. Send the letter, we're done." Wow. It was like, holy shit. Wow, that's dudes. Fuck yeah, those are those customer service warriors, man. He was hysterical. One time he's sitting next to me, he's fucking bitching to dude. He's like, "No, you're not listening. No, that's not how." He's like yelling at this dude, full on yelling at him, right? And then he stops talking and he's typing for a second, and then he goes, "So you got any plans for the weekend?" He was hysterical. Yeah. But yeah, he knew his shit. But yeah, all these systems, like one time somebody calls up and he goes, "How come my listing for Close Encounters of the Third Kind on VHS isn't showing up on the product detail page?" That's what it's called in Amazon PDP, it's product detail page. And every item on there has an ASIN, that's an Amazon Stock Identification Number. So you can go like amazon.com/DP detail page / and then put the ASIN number, it brings up your fucking thing. Wow. So he's talking about that his VHS copy is a big show. It pulls up Close Encounters, 4K, Blu-ray, Anniversary Edition, DVD, like whatever the fuck. So I gotta go dig into it, find the answers. I'm on this fucking system. It's a different system. Turns out, because it's on a VHS, they suppress those listings. Why? They don't want to be in the VHS business. Really? Yep. Huh. Yep. And another thing they suppressed that I found out that sort of angered me about it. When movies would come out on Blu-ray, okay, and you go, "Oh, I'll go buy it on Amazon," right? They would suppress the disc listings and push the digital download version. Oh, because maybe they got a cut of it. Whatever it is. Yeah, they probably got a cut of it. Like to the point where they would either make the Blu-ray discs more expensive, or that they wouldn't have them available for 2 weeks to a month after the actual release date. Oh, they try to pull the old, "Oh, we're sold out. You got to get the download." So yeah, forcing you on that download version. Wow. To which I signed up for Target. Yeah. That's what I used to do. I used to, after work, go to Target on a Tuesday and pick up whatever came out that week. Wow. That's why I got so many fucking DVDs. Yeah. Which, if anybody wants DVDs, let me know. I got 60 in liquid. I got a whole truck full. Yeah. 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 So I would go back to Target. Just go to Target online, order it, send it, have it in 2 days. Just like Amazon, but like they're not trying to push their video library stuff. No. Which I do that on the Amazon. I do buy stuff on the Amazon platform. Oh. I like the idea of a little digital movie collection, which you can access through like Vudu or through like the Amazon. You go to your
I bought a
library
couple through Amazon, but I don't have that many.
Your downloads or something like that?
Yeah, I think I got the Foo Fighter guy. I got the Dave Grohl, or what was the one where he went around?
Sound City or something?
Yeah, I got the Sound City one, and then the one where he went around to the different cities.
Daylight, Fading Light.
Yeah, he did an album in every city.
Ghost Light, yeah.
Yeah, I did those, and then I think I got something else on there. Yeah, it wasn't nothing great, but I know they're still there. They're still in my Amazon thing, you know.
Well, I'd start looking at like on the Blu-rays, you know, because I would get, you know, the Blu-ray, DVD. And this is when it was transitioning from DVDs to Blu-rays, and digital copy.
Yeah.
So I started realizing that, and then I started going and kind of redeeming the codes. So I had like some like, you know, some of the Marvel movies, some of the Harry Potter movies, you know, some Spider-Man movies, whatever the fuck.
Sure.
So I redeemed those codes, and so those go in my Amazon library or whatever, just my digital library. Like you can access it through third-party shit like Vudu or whatever. But it gets weird with the Sony MGM stuff. Those don't show up on like Vudu. You have to access them through like the Amazon in order to see them.
Huh.
Because Sony didn't participate in the whole Vudu thing. You know, VUDU, whatever. Anyway.
Hey, side note, have you seen that? Have you seen the Sound City thing?
I have not.
Man, you're a music nerd. You would have a music boner on that one. This one hits all the marks.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes that stuff it's a little too all-consuming for me. I get sucked into that sort of shit.
Yeah, well, this one is made for us, you know, and the Dave Grohl saving the old Sound City soundboard and the records that were recorded at Sound City on this Neve board.
Yeah.
Not only did they go into the Neve board, but the records that were on it, you go, oh my gosh, and it'll forever change the way you hear things, you know, as far as like, oh, that old Cars record was done there. Oh, that old Weezer record. Oh, that old Dio record. You know, you go, that's why I like it so much. You know what I mean? And really, you'll go, huh. Wow, interesting. And then you see him building his studio and then them bringing it in. You know, it's like 20 guys carrying it in.
Yeah.
Cutting a hole in the wall to bring it in.
Oh, yeah.
It was massive. But oh my God, you got to get that. Oh, you'll nerd out on that.
Yeah, that Glenn Fricker on Spectre Sound. We should link to him in the description. He's just north of us in Canada.
Oh yeah,
right across
Toronto?
the lake. Not even like the I think the London Kitchener sort of area.
London and Kitchener area.
Yeah. Which is just west of
Toronto.
Toronto.
It's right across the lake.
Yeah. He got a Neve board a couple of years ago. Like because his channel like really does good. Like he's got connections, like done stuff. Like you know what I mean. Like manufacturers will have him go over to Europe and stuff like that. And I think he went to the Neve place. I think it's in England.
Yeah.
And he got a newer Neve digital board.
Yeah, that's the board. The way they are, they're kind of like you could buy just the one rope, one channel preset.
Channel strip.
Yeah, channel strip, you know, and they set into this thing in like blocks.
Yeah, those are the called 500 modules, like the little guys that are like this big, and they fit in like a little rack sort of thing. Yeah, they're just little modules.
Yeah, and they slide right in, hook right up.
Yeah.
But they're expensive on their own. They're like $2,000 a piece just on their own. Just one channel.
I mean, you know, for the actual stuff that people use, I mean, like the microphones are like $3,000. They're like Neumanns, and then they go through, you know, a $1,500 to $3,500 mic preamp.
I know.
Then it hits the AD converter, you know, or like one of those channel strips. When I started out recording, I got a channel strip.
Yeah.
It was just a Focusrite, one rack space. But the point is, in basic terms, you get your like you know phantom power, low cut.
Yeah.
Then you get a gain control for level, you know, for boosting it. Some sort of EQ shift, even if it was this was just sort of a basic like mid shift sort of thing, and then a compressor knob. So you get gain, EQ, and compressor. That's what's on a channel strip.
Yeah.
It's like a mixer. It's like any old mixer. Think about any old mixer you had. You got the slider for the volume down at the bottom. Which did you ever see the documentary about the guy that invented all that shit?
No.
The guy that was the board op at Atlantic.
Oh, no.
Like I forget his name. It was like Tom Tom Werman or something like that. That's a fascinating documentary, man.
Wow.
Yeah. That dude said, like, the atomic bomb project was called the Manhattan Project because of him, because he was working in Manhattan. He was, like, the top electronics guy at the time.
Wow. Imagine that.
Yeah, because he was the guy, because when Les Paul invented the fucking mixing board,
Yeah.
he was using, like, some sort of rotary knobs or something.
Yeah.
This guy was the guy that goes, oh, we can get these 100mm faders fucking cheap, like army surplus. That's why the mixing boards have faders.
Wow.
Because this guy was like,
He's the grandfather of the modern mixing board.
yeah, he was the guy that had Atlantic Records.
Yeah.
He was the chief recording engineer at Atlantic Records.
Wow, that's fascinating stuff. I could nerd out all day on that shit.
That documentary is fucking fascinating. That dude.
We're gonna get in the weeds on our friends here.
Anyway, sorry.
All right, sorry guys,
Yeah.
but good stuff. Good stuff. Sound City, you want to see it? Dave Grohl, Sound City. You should, if you're a music nerd, go there. Dude, we got the Wayback Machine this week. You want to do it?
Yeah, let's hit this up real quick.
All right, yeah, 1989. We're going to 1989. All right, well, 1989, not bad, not a bad year. That's the year I graduated from high school. Leather jacket, I was going to be a rock star.
Speaking of that, let's blow through the metal albums of 1989 real quick.
Metal albums of 1989?
I just got a quick list here.
Let's do it.
Sepultura, Beneath the Remains.
Whoa,
right?
whoa, that's even before Roots.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're talking Beneath the Remains. Yeah, they hadn't even hit our radar. They didn't even hit my radar till Roots.
Chaos AD.
Chaos AD, yeah.
Yeah, which I think was, and then Roots.
Oh, yeah.
Or was Roots on Chaos AD?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think, no, because it was
Chaos AD
and it was Roots.
Roots.
I think that was the next album.
Roots.
Yeah. Headless Children by Wasp. Wasp. I know. Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue.
Big record, sounds good. I hate the singer.
Right, there was a lot of that.
Music was good, though.
Once again, speaking of that, next, I love this album, but once again, the singer's kind of screechy, but, love you, Bobby. Years of Decay, Overkill.
Oh,
I
yeah,
love
Years
this
of
album.
Overkill. Yeah.
Years of Decay.
Arguably that was their most popular one.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, not really. The album after it, they started making the videos for.
Oh, right.
I mean, I think this had Hello from the Gutter. I'm not sure.
Hello from the Gutter was their big hit.
I Hate was pretty big video.
Hello from the Gutter, though, I think was pretty much. If you didn't know Overkill, you probably have heard Hello from the Gutter.
Yeah, and this is still the lineup that I love. This whole fucking late '80s runs, the band is crushing.
They were supposed to be one of the biggest thrash bands. I don't know why they couldn't ever get past that hump. It was weird. They were poised to be. They could have been Metallica. They were right at the level of Metallica at the time.
That drummer slayed in that. Well, that drummer left, and the main guitar player Bobby Gustafson, he left.
Yeah, maybe they had a drug problem or something. I don't know. Internal, maybe a manager thing. Maybe it was a manager thing. Maybe it was a suit and tie thing.
Bobby Blitz Ellsworth and Dee Dee Verney, the bass player, who invented clang bass.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, I mean, Sabotage, Gutter Ballet, Voivod's Nothing Face.
Voivod Nothing Face was pretty good because they did Pink Floyd's Astronomy Domine, super cool.
Yeah.
I remember watching that. Maybe you and I were watching the video, and we were kind of like quiet afterwards, like, wow, that was fucking heavy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty
They made
nutty.
Pink Floyd cool.
Yeah, Astronomy Domine.
Yeah.
Faith No More, The Real Thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mike Patton's in it now.
Yeah. That started getting big.
Metal Church, Blessing in Disguise.
They did a version of War Pigs on there, though. Their version of War Pigs was the one I learned on bass that made me go, oh, right now I get the supercharged War Pigs.
Right.
Yeah.
Blessing in Disguise, Metal Church. Yeah, Metal Church this is like the third album or something. Or
they're
fourth.
grandfathers of metal then. Now thrash metal's kind of all right. Maybe you either got to sink or swim. You go down.
I believe
or
this
up.
is with the blonde singer, not the OG singer from the first two albums.
Yeah.
Metal Church in the Dark, which love. Practice What You Preach, Testament.
Yeah. Testament
Practice
was
What
tough.
You Preach. Those guys are great too.
To this day, they're tough.
Oh yeah, they're great. With Alex Skolnick on the guitar is great. I always loved Greg Christian's bass sound. It was really springy, twangy, fucking churning underneath.
Yeah, and they just seem like a gang. They just seem like a gang. Guys in like jean jackets and just crushed.
They're solid. Yeah, Louis Clemente and
they never sold out. They stayed true to themselves.
Chuck Billy.
Yeah.
And what was the drummer's name? I forget the drummer's name. Is that Louis Clemente?
I don't know.
Who's the guitar player?
I don't know much about him. I know Chuck Billy and Skolnick.
Yeah.
Skolnick's fun on socials. He's pretty outspoken. He's fun.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah, he's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a documentary. They have a documentary on YouTube. I feel like I watched it a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Chuck Billy was talking about he was like a fan, you know what I mean? And then he got to be in the band to sing, and the band was like he's so big and like he's into it, you know what I mean?
He's like a big looming presence. Yeah. He's like a big Indian dude.
And so he's just loving it. Skid Row.
Oh, arguably that was a game changer for record. You got to admit.
Also, great radio controversy. Tesla. Is that the first Tesla album?
Yeah, you and I were...
No, Mechanical Resonance was the first.
Yeah. We were spoon-fed Tesla a lot. You and I, and we've seen him so many times, and Tesla was part of our daily diet for a lot of years. A
lot of years. MTV loved him. Conspiracy by King Diamond. I don't really know that one.
I don't know that one.
Fabulous Disaster by Exodus. Fabulous Disaster.
Yeah, I knew it was there. That's Kirk Hammett, old band. But I wasn't into Exodus. Did you listen to Exodus?
Yeah, I had that album.
I never had it.
I had a couple of them. Yeah. Horrified by Repulsion, whatever. Louder Than Love, Soundgarden. I've got that CD.
I got it later. I didn't get it till the 90s, but it was out in 89.
I had the other one from 87, Ultra Mega OK. I've got that, and I got Louder Than Love.
Well, yeah.
Actually,
we got them, but I
Louder
don't
Than
think
Love, that was the first like national album they had.
Yeah, that was after and they had the Asian bass player guy, Hero. Hero playing bass on it.
Yeah. Let's see. Ministry,
good.
The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Waste.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a European list, so there's shit like I've never heard of, like a band called Hellstar, Coroner, Pestilence, Carcass. I mean, we know Carcass. LA Guns, Cocked and Loaded. I mean, talk about cock rock. Cock rock. Headless Cross by Black Sabbath. Trash.
Wait. No. Go back. That Black Sabbath Headless Cross album, that was with Tony Martin singing. That was the one with that one singer. He only did one record.
Huh.
Yeah, Headless Cross, and it's pretty good.
Yeah?
He just got bad flack because Sabbath was in between things. They're floating singers here and there. They couldn't quite get their footing.
Yeah, a lot of Black Sabbath.
In hindsight, that album actually holds up.
Yeah?
That singer was pretty good. Headless Cross. Tony Martin or something. Yeah.
See, and that's why. Let me see.
He was like a one-off singer. Something weird about that.
And that's why we do this stuff, is to uncover these sort of things.
Yeah, for a Sabbath record, it's one of the least known ones, but I don't think it got its flowers that it deserved.
Okay. Alice Cooper, Trash. Big Game, White Lion.
Oh, is that before? Is that the one where they were doing the Radar Love remake?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Which I actually liked.
Yeah, they did it pretty well, actually.
Oops.
Because they were starting to do a lot of ballads. It was like, these guys are so talented, but they're doing ballads. But then they redeemed themselves with the Radar Love remake, which was cool.
Broken Home, Little Fighter, Going Home Tonight, Dirty Woman, Living on the Edge. Well, maybe not.
No, it might have been their first record then.
Pride.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. I knew they were around.
The Radar Love was cool, though. That's still a good song. Dangers, song.
Album, Naughty, Danger. Yeah, that video was on all the time.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Keyboards.
Sonic Temple, The Cult.
All right, yeah, Sonic Temple Cult. Yeah, got it.
This one I actually
That's the one with Firewebbed on it, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
This one I had, you always fucking hated. Dangerous Toys. Remember this?
Oh, yeah, and I used to have to play that Tease and Please song in an old band. Yeah, an old cover band. Ugh, terrible.
It was in the vein of like Poison, sort of.
Yeah, but they were a little snarlier. They're kind of like Poison meets Jackal. They're kind of like in between. Yeah. They're a little snarlier.
I think they were from Texas or something.
Yeah, they had that kind of little snarly Jackal thing, but then they're kind of poppy like Poison.
They had a good mix, though.
Yeah, and the singer had a good snarly voice. They weren't as bad. In hindsight,
he was very Jackal-y.
Yeah.
Who's that dude from Jackal?
Jesse something or other, guy with the chainsaw?
Jesse James Dupree.
Right.
That's it, Jesse James Dupree. Because there there's a thing out in Phoenix that radio station I listen to, and with Holmberg in the morning, man, he was telling, because they do the U Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jesse James Dupree would come in the studio and like fire up the chainsaw and like run it, and it's a closed room and it's just filling up with exhaust smoke.
I have a picture of, like, we play in Whiskey Road. We played a bike rally thing here, the Roar and the Short thing, you know. And Jesse James was on stage with us because we kicked it off one of those. All right, the bikes are all going to leave from this point A, and he was like the marshal.
Oh, the Grand Marshal.
Yeah, so there's a picture of me on stage, like, you know, with him right there. He's shorter than you'd think.
Holmberg says they all are.
Yeah, I know they are. Yeah.
Holmberg,
Every rocker I've met, when I met like Dee Snider, it's like he's way shorter than you'd think.
Sully Erna from Godsmack.
Yeah,
he's like
I met him too.
5'3",
Yeah,
5'4".
he was short too.
Yeah. Holmberg says the guys from Seven Dust, they're like 5'6". You know? He said Seven Dust has in their riders, in their rider, that for every gig, they each get a fresh new pair of cargo pants from Target. Among other shit.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Holmberg, that was funny.
Yeah, a lot of times they put that shit in there just to see if they're reading the.
No, these guys were way into it. It was like fresh athletic socks and fucking a new pair of cargo shorts from fucking.
Yeah, so they don't have to do laundry.
Target. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Soldier of Fortune by Loudness.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Soldier of Fortune. That's not Thunder Knees. That's after Thunder Knees.
Yeah, probably.
Almost was a Soldier of Fortune might have been the one with the American Singer, when they Loudness tried to get the American Singer.
Oh, I don't know. Twice Shy, like Great White.
Okay.
I don't know. Master of Disguise by Lizzie Borden.
Oh, God.
White Snake follow-up, Slip of the Tongue.
Oh, that's the one where Steve Vai was the guitar player.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Oh, I had this album, too. Climbing the Walls, Wrathchild America. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, they had super long hair. I liked them because they had super long hair. They had the longest hair out of any band.
They were fairly thrashy.
They were. They were like Corrosion of Conformity with a little bit more snarl. They weren't quite as bland as
I remember
Corrosion
that Climbing the
Conformity.
Walls song. It was like a hammer-on thing. It was like a ding 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 a ding.
Yeah, didn't they all spin their head in circles? Their super long hair. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty good album, man. That was fairly,
they should have got more flowers than they got.
It was heavier than the normal, because this is where the metal started to go into hair metal, right?
Yeah.
Well, not started, but this is where the hair metal, like a lot, like, you know, like the Danger, this sort of shit.
You had the keyboard commercial kind, but then you had the sleaze rock still kind of, and then some were trying to merge it, you know, so you'd have like Skid Row's trying to merge it and not knowing which lane to go in.
Yeah, because Skid Row got thrown in with like Winger and Slaughter and shit.
Yeah, but in theory, they're more like, they came from more Wrathchild America /
Dangerous Toys sort of.
Yeah, they're more front. Yeah, they
Bullet
meant.
Boys.
Yeah,
which we always like Bullet Boys. That was just rock shit. Blue Blood by X Japan. You ever hear that X Japan?
No, but I knew they were a big thing. There's a documentary on that too. Yes, there's a thing.
They're the biggest band out of Japan for 20 fucking years, and no one's heard of them outside of Japan.
Right? Yeah, and they're like the hugest band in Japan.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Kiss, Hot in the Shade.
Oof.
Perfect Symmetry, Fate's Warning.
Oh, that's
That was a Dream Theater album. Aerosmith puts out Pump.
Okay. Well,
I just got a text from Kamala Harris.
Oh, does she want you to donate?
I don't know. Candlemass. Okay, yeah, that's about it for the metal albums. That's enough for that.
Candlemass, yeah.
Yeah.
They're having a weird resurgence. People are liking Candlemass again.
Are they?
Yeah, you'll see them at like, there's the Wisconsin Death Metal Fest, and then they'll be like third on the bill, you know? They're like headliner, like people go, Candlemass is back. Wow, yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. I think they just have a cool name.
Well, let's see. We could try and do Billboard list.
All right, albums. Let's go albums. Let's go quick.
Yeah, this is
because
albums.
movies are going to get long in the tooth here, and then TV.
Anita Baker, Giving You the Best I Got. Ugh. Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel. Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses. Debbie Gibson, Electric Youth. Tone Loc, Loked After Dark.
Oh, yeah.
Madonna Like a Prayer.
Yeah,
Fine Young Cannibals, The Raw and the Cooked. Batman soundtrack, Prince.
Ugh.
Richard Marx, repeat offender. He had quite a few hits off
Yeah, Richard Marx is winning then. He was winning those years.
New Kids on the Block, Hanging Tough. Milli Vanilli, Girl, You Know It's True.
Yeah, was that Milli Vanilli before they got exposed?
Yeah.
So it's pre-exposure.
Right. This is 89, before it all fell apart. Forever Your Girl, Paula Abdul.
That was big.
Dr. Feelgood, Motley Crue. Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation.
It is weird. So when you think about 1989, you could have, I mean, we talked about this last week with 88. Music was so diverse. You can go from Tone Loc to Madonna to The Cars to
Billy Joel, Stormfront, Phil Collins, But Seriously.
Yeah, when you're listening to these everything is so different. So niche.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's really starting to get into fucking little specific niches, and I think VH1 starts around this time.
Yeah.
Or because it.
Yeah, they had M1, M2, and then VH1 or something.
Yeah, because that was like a different demo than the MTV and stuff like that. They were trending like the Anita Baker. That was running VH1. Whitney Houston was
they're
running VH1.
trying to get
Phil
the
Collins,
older generation.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Bolton, all that sort of stuff. TV shows real quick.
Well, 89, isn't that the first year Seinfeld debuts?
Let's see. Sitcoms are ruling the planet. Cosby Show and Roseanne tied for number 1.
Roseanne was big, though. And
Roseanne's
Cosby Show
on
was big.
ABC. That's big for ABC. ABC has
they were
not been
kinda
on
floundering.
this list much. America.
Did they cancel Alf by now, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't see him on the top
the
list.
past couple of years, Alf was reigning supreme.
Still hanging in there.
Yeah.
He had a good 4 or 5 year run there.
Yeah.
So Cosby Show, Roseanne tied for number 1. Then Cheers, still a different world Cosby spinoff.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is where we get like Cree Summer, fucking Don Lewis, Marissa Tomei. They all came out of a different world.
Yeah.
And Kadeem Hardison doing Dwayne Wayne. Number 5, ABC starts killing it here. America's Funniest Home Videos.
Which arguably
Juggernaut.
last per minute.
Juggernaut.
Last per minute. Biggest last per minute of any show in the world.
Yep. Golden Girls NBC, 60 Minutes CBS, Wonder Years ABC, Empty Nest NBC, which is that Richard Mulligan one with Dinah Manoff and Christina Hinkle.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, Unsolved Mysteries NBC.
That was a big deal, though,
That went on for a long time.
Yeah, everyone could agree we could all watch Unsolved Mysteries,
ABC beefing up their fucking sitcom lineup. Who's the Boss? Anchoring. I think that was on Tuesdays. Murder, She Wrote on CBS, perennial. Like CBS is always checking in with 60 Minutes and Murder, She Wrote. Chicken Soup on ABC. That was Jackie Mason's fucking sitcom.
Wow.
They're trying to beef up the sitcoms.
They are.
And it was okay at first because it was like Jackie Mason.
Here's the amazing thing. You know how music is so niche? TV they're trying to get middle of the road.
Yes.
Everything in TV across the board is very down the center and very tight-ropey, and everybody's trying to get everybody.
Yes.
Yep. Don't make any sudden moves, guys. Don't be adventurous.
Don't freak out the advertisers.
Yes.
Don't piss off the people.
TV is safe as fuck.
They always say that with TV, it's like you're in the people's homes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you don't want to be rude.
Yeah, you're a guest in their house. Don't be burping and farting.
Right. Because people don't like it. NBC's with these next 3. A show called Grand. I feel like it was some hotel drama. LA Law.
Oh, that ended up big, yeah.
Yeah, that was big. Dear John.
Oh, that one.
That was Judd Hirsch.
Ooh.
Remember, he was going to a support group.
Post-taxi.
Like his wife died. It was some support group.
Okay.
And there was a guy in the support group called Kirk. He was funny. He was an actor, Jerry something. He had blonde hair. He would always he was like, oh, Kirk. It was almost like a precursor to like.
Was he imitating Shatner by going Kirk? It was kind of like a bad Shatner imitation.
Maybe it might have been. I never really thought about it. Yeah. But yeah, I used to watch it with my mom. Fucking, it was funny. That was a good character. And it was a British actress, Brenda something. If you saw, you'd be like, oh, her. She was in it. She was in the support. I think she ran the support group. Yeah, Dear John. That won awards and that ran for probably 2-3 seasons. All right, Coach, ABC.
Yeah, Coach is big. I like Coach.
Yep, Coach is a good show.
I was the dad from Poltergeist.
Yeah. Craig T. Nelson.
Craig T. Nelson, yes.
And then In the Heat of the Night, Matlock, NBC. ABC, beefing up their sitcoms. Growing Pains and Full House.
All right, but once again, not breaking any barriers. They're just trying to stay safe.
Well, yeah, but they're building a sitcom anchor.
Yeah.
Because here we'll get then we got CBS has Designing Women.
Yeah.
CBS Sunday Movie, Hunter still.
Hunter.
With Fred Dreyer and Stephanie Kramer. It's a good show. I haven't seen it forever, but man, it lasted. Head of the Class on ABC.
Okay.
Murphy Brown on CBS.
All right, yeah.
Simpsons on Fox.
Here we go.
Here we go, 89 or 90. Night Court on NBC. Doogie Howser on ABC.
Oh,
so,
yeah, Doogie.
what we've got here is the networks are staking out territory. Monday nights is CBS. You got your Murphy Brown. You got your Designing Women.
Yeah.
You got the CBS sitcoms. Tuesdays, I think, was a throw up. Wednesdays was a throw up. Thursdays was the NBC thing. They started doing, because they had Cheers on there, and then when Cosby came along, and Cheers kind of gained momentum in that second year or whatever.
They're going to take them on.
That was their Thursday night lineup, which NBC hammered that Thursday night lineup all the way through Friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Where they used to call it must-see TV.
Yeah.
It was must-see TV because it was the Thursday night NBC lineup.
Yeah.
Which at this time is anchored by Cosby, Different World,
Now, Seinfeld debuted this year, but was that debut on Thursday, or did they end up moving it to Thursday when it started getting better as the years went on?
I think it was something like they started it on Thursday and then they moved it to Tuesdays, which kind of killed the show. But it was also called Seinfeld Chronicles when it first started, and it was a very awkward sort of format. But somebody at the network loved it and stuck with it for a second year. And then what happened is they ran it during the summer or something like that, and it started to build an audience.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, the Seinfeld story is kind of an awkward one. But yes, at this point, so NBC on Thursdays is killing it. And ABC is starting to establish Friday nights.
Ooh, what do they got?
Well, so they've got they got Roseanne, which I believe was Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think it was Wednesday. I think Roseanne was ruling Wednesdays. And Wonder Years. Yeah. I feel like it was Roseanne and then Grace Under Fire with Brett Butler.
Right.
And
right.
then
I like that one.
like Wonder Years,
Yeah, Brett Butler was a big deal then.
Yeah. And then they were doing Wonder Years and Doogie Howser.
Okay.
Wonder Years and Doogie Howser for sure. Then on the Fridays, they were doing the sitcoms on ABC. Who's the Boss? Probably that Chicken Soup.
Yeah.
Coach was like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
Growing Pains and Full House. So Full House with, Danny Tanner and the kids.
Right, Stamos.
And then Growing Pains. And then after that, because those were on Fridays. After that, they were running Head of the Class.
Uh-oh.
Right? And then they were also starting to run Family Matters.
Okay.
Which is where we get Steve Urkel.
Ah.
And then later, Step by Step with Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summers.
I remember that one, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was on later at night, though. That was like a 9:30 or something. It was something weird. It was like late. Late for a sitcom, you go, why is this on so
Right,
late?
because for here on the East Coast, our prime time was 8 to 11.
Yeah.
So you get, 3 hours for shows. Out on in the Central Time Zone or Pacific Time Zone, it's 7 to 10.
Right.
Out there you get 10 o'clock news and shit like that.
All right.
So anyway, that's TV, kind of fascinating.
Not bad.
Thursday nights NBC, Friday nights ABC.
All right.
All right. Blow through some movies real quick.
Do it quick.
Number one movie in 1989. What is it?
Rain Man.
Batman.
Oh, Batman, because the soundtrack and Batman, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Tim Burton Batman.
Yep. Number two, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
That's number 3. That's the third one, right?
No. Oh, yes, the third movie.
Yeah, third Indiana Jones movie, yeah.
Yeah, second highest grossing movie of the year. Lethal Weapon 2.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
Lethal Weapon was sort of a minor sort of movie, you know what I mean? Like one of those like $3 million action movies they did.
Yeah, with the same formula. Yeah, the cop and his partner, white and black. Okay, one. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it literally has like...
It's a formula.
Yeah, it literally had their awkward buddy cop situation. They literally got the lieutenant yelling at him across the desk, "God damn it, Riggs!
Give me your badge now!"
And Murdaugh the whole time is going like, "Oh, I'm getting too old for this shit."
Yeah. Oh my God. We can almost write our own.
It's classic. I mean, it's template of that sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, emblematic of the '80s buddy cop thing. But they knew it at the time. They were leaning into it.
Yeah. I guess you could, and it was a formula that worked.
Yeah.
And they had honed it all those years.
Yeah, and I think the second one, I think Joe Pesci turns up in it as like a little minor.
Yeah, and doesn't like somebody like Gilbert Gottfried or something like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got to be like stunt casting. Anyway, yeah, it's a fun time. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a big one for Walt Disney. Like
I saw that in 3D.
Yeah.
In IMAX in Disneyland. When my parents
Remember
or
the
Disney
bees
World.
flying at you.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was really cool in IMAX 3D. That was really good. That was fun.
You know what I saw in IMAX 3D?
What?
Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
That was like, whoa. Rain Man. There it is.
All right, I knew it.
Yeah. Number 5. Look Who's Talking.
Oh God. Oh, the talking baby with
Talking Baby.
Yeah.
With Travolta and Kirstie Alley.
Oh, no Gutenberg.
That's 3 men and a baby.
Oh, right. Imagine that 3 men and a talking baby.
That was the sequels. Look Who's Talking Now.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
No, wait. No, that was the sequel to this one. Sorry, spoiler alert. It was successful enough. It got a. Oh yeah, that's the whole thing. It was Bruce Willis voicing the baby. And then in the sequel, they had a girl baby, and it was Roseanne voicing the.
Oh, that's right.
Remember those?
Now I remember those.
Like a
You're
voiceover babies.
They were, yeah. It was kind of cliche joke writing, but it wasn't super bad. I mean,
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I guess that was one of those. Oh, it's 3:30 on a Thursday. I'm going to watch this on HBO.
Well, it was like cutesy stuff. They get the baby. They get the baby making like screwed up faces, like confused looking faces, and then you get Bruce Willis going, "What's wrong with this guy?" And John Travolta's trying to make faces to entertain the baby.
Oh gosh,
it's about as schmaltzy as like a Marley and Me.
Yeah.
All right, Ghostbusters 2.
Okay, that's not bad. Ghostbusters 2 wasn't hateable.
Back to the Future 2.
You liked it more than I would have. But is that the one where they go in the Western?
That's the third one.
Oh, okay.
Second one's where they go in the future.
Oh.
Then they go back in time. Then they have to come back.
Yeah, a little confusing.
Because that one's fun because you get the whole future sequence, which is kind of fun. And then they go back in time and you see the first movie from a different point of view.
Yeah.
So it feels like a rehash, but it's kind of trippy. Like it's fun.
I like that angle, the different view of the same movie.
Because then you get Marty and Doc watching Marty from the first movie from a third person point of view.
Yeah, that's kind of trippy. That's a good concept. Yeah.
And then you get the whole thing with the sports almanac and all that sort of shit.
Yes. Okay.
Which then they come back to the future, and the future's all fucked up. That one's actually a really good movie. Yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, Parenthood. Remember that one? Steve Martin, Diane Weiss. They got the kids. They got Martha Plimpton,
the family.
Keanu
There's like
Reeves.
70 kids
and
grandkids moving in and out. Yeah.
Dead Poets Society.
All right.
When Harry Met Sally.
All right.
Turner and Hooch.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Hanks still slumming it in terrible movies.
Right. He had to keep working. He had to get one a year.
Yep. Uncle Buck.
Oh, wow. I thought
89. I know. Feels late, doesn't it?
That does feel late.
Now, this is with like 6-year-old Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, he was good in it.
This is like his second movie, because before this, I don't think it made the big list, was, I believe in like 87, Jacob's Ladder.
Right.
Or 88.
Yeah, he was good in Uncle Buck. He was cute.
Yeah,
he's
totally.
Yeah,
Uncle Buck was where he did that thing where he's like a little 6-year-old, but he's talking more like an adult. Cause
You're right.
He has that scene where he's grilling him. He's like, "Why you my uncle? What, why should we trust you?" It was funny.
Yeah, John Candy was great too.
Oh, John Candy's fucking the best. His daughter is in one of those prescription drug ads.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd have to look.
Yeah. It's funny when you know it's her. Then you look at her and you go, "Oh my God, it does look just like him."
You would have thought she'd had a better agent than that than a prescription drug ad. Well, I guess somebody's got to work.
Yeah. Field of Dreams.
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal.
That's a big deal. Christmas Vacation.
Oh, okay, the Chevy Chase.
People love that. Sea of Love, Al Pacino.
I don't know that one.
Fucking, what's the chick's name? Ellen Barkin.
Ellen Barkin, huh? Okay.
Pet Sematary. Remember that one?
Oh, I did. I saw that in the theater. Yeah, that was fun.
That was one of the tighter Stephen King adaptations from a book. That movie follows very closely to the book.
Yes. And it was good in the theater. It was a good,
It's a disturbing, unsettling sort of story.
It was, yeah.
But really well done. As a movie.
An original concept when you think about it. You go, I've never heard anything like this. This is pretty original. Original thought.
I still remember shit from that, like the old Micmac burial ground. Yeah. Harlem Nights.
Oh, okay.
That was where we had Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Red Fox.
Wow, that says it all right there.
That probably deserves a rewatch. We should do that. We should rewatch some of these movies and fucking talk about those in our fucking secondary podcast, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that. Because I haven't seen Harlem Nights since back then.
Yeah.
Beaches. That was Cher, Susan Sarandon, or something like that.
Right.
Ooh, The Abyss.
Ooh, The Abyss. That's the underwater movie, isn't it?
That's the underwater one. That's James Cameron one.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that movie when I was reading the Michael Crichton book Sphere, which is a great book and is sort of fucking really kind of weak movie. Most of the Michael Crichton fucking movie shit ends up kind of weak.
I don't know.
There was a really great book called Timeline. Really fucking weak movie. Yeah. Anyway, To the Limit. Don't know what that is. A documentary, mountain climbing or something. Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. This is the one where Christopher Lloyd is a Klingon. And they get sucked into the whole Klingon, Klingon warp or something. Little Mermaid.
Oh, that's a big deal for Disney.
This is the start of the Disney animation rebirth. Little Mermaid kicks it off right here in '89.
Yeah, that's true. That was a huge deal.
Huge deal.
The toys and the marketing and the.
Yep. Yeah, because then it just goes from here and just starts getting bigger. People started paying attention after this. I think it was like Tarzan or something like that.
Yeah, you're right. But Little Mermaid was a big deal.
Yeah, that kicked it off. And
still a big deal to this day.
Because I feel like this did good enough, and then Tarzan came out, and that did good enough. Then they did the Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
Steel Magnolias.
Okay.
Right. Little League.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty all right.
See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
I don't know that one.
This is the third one with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder.
Really? Gene Wilder's still alive?
Yeah.
At this point?
Yes.
Okay.
He only died like 5 years
Richard Pryor's still alive at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Isn't he all kind of shaky and Parkinson's-y at this point? Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Because after this, then he does a movie called Condition Critical, where he's like a Chicago ER doctor or something like that. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Black Rain. Remember this one? Michael Douglas with the Japanese mafia stuff.
No, sounds interesting.
I think this is based off a Michael Crichton book as well.
Japanese mafia always kind of fascinates me because it's like it's not as cliche as the Italian mafia. So when you go Japanese mafia, you go, oh, wow, there's something well dressed and scary about it.
Yeah, this is a very stylish. I believe this is a Michael Crichton one. This is a very stylish thing. That's probably worth a rewatch too. Black Rain would be interesting to watch.
All right,
because it is that sort of Japanese where it's real subtle sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was another one that was probably like 2 years from now, which is the Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes one, Rising Sun.
Okay.
Maybe that was the Michael Crichton one, was Rising Sun.
No.
But this Black Rain one was cool. Michael Douglas.
Okay.
Keep Working Girl. Melanie Griffin.
Is it Melanie Griffith?
Nope. It's Kathy Griffin said it's
I
only
know
Griffith if it's Andy from North Carolina.
All right.
Yeah. Other than that, it's always Griffin. War of the Roses.
Oh, that was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Michael Douglas, Kathleen
movie,
Turner, and Danny DeVito. Once again, from Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile. Yeah, that was sort of a fun. I think I saw that in the theater. Three Fugitives. I'm not sure what that is. A Walt Disney comedy. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh wow, this was '89. Yeah,
89.
I guess MTV grabbed this one.
Yep.
Kids were getting into this. This was part of malt culture.
Actually, I think MTV was involved with the releasing of it. I think it was one of the first.
Yeah, it could have been MTV
films.
Pictures.
Yeah, I think
Paramount and MTV were kind of in cahoots, weren't they?
Yeah, I think MTV threw in money to help release it.
Yeah.
And I think they had a hand in revamping the soundtrack. K9, Jim Belushi with a cop dog.
Yeah, that was all right. I seen that.
Twins.
Oh.
Danny DeVito.
And Schwarzenegger.
That's a ridiculous fucking movie. Karate Kid 3. Hilary Swank.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, wait. Yeah, maybe it is. But The Burbs. I love The Burbs.
Oh, The Burbs is great.
I love The Burbs.
I love The Burbs.
The Burbs is fucking hysterical.
Yeah. I love the concept of them just staring out the window and just, I know.
That's a good time.
Yeah. And just having fan fiction about what the neighbors are doing.
Yeah. So this is a Tom Hanks movie. Carrie Fisher plays his wife.
And Feldog's in there too.
Corey Feldman's in it, one of his best roles ever.
He was. Feldog was good in this
one.
He
was great. And Bruce Dern, Laura Dern's dad. Fucking great. Rick Dukeman, stand-up comedian. He's like his next door neighbor buddy.
Right, Dukeman.
Yeah. Which Rick Dukeman was also in Little Monsters with Fred Savage. Anyway. License to Kill, James Bond.
Okay.
Fletch Lives. Dangerous Liaisons, which I believe is Martin Scorsese doing Michelle Pfeiffer and Daniel Day-Lewis in a French period drama or something like that. I'm not sure. I never saw it. Weekend at Bernie's. That was a huge one.
That was huge.
Roadhouse. That was a huge one. Once again,
Roadhouse? I thought Roadhouse was already out. I thought that was early 80s. This is 89?
89, May 89.
Wow, Roadhouse. This is like Uncle Buck where you go, I thought Uncle Buck would have been early 80s.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff where it's like, God, I'm shocked at how late this is. Like, it feels like it was much earlier.
Yeah, and that's why I wonder, like, if Roadhouse would have came out in 82, it seems like it's made for 82.
Right.
It doesn't feel like it's made for 89.
No.
It feels like it's past its shelf life.
Yeah.
And maybe wasn't appreciated for its tacky corniness that it gained later on nowadays.
Yeah. Because, once again, I don't think it did big in the theater.
No.
But when it got on HBO.
Yeah, then probably DVD rentals and stuff, it had a resurgence.
Well, clearly we have it right here. It was like, I don't know, 30 million or something. Anyway, Lean on Me. Morgan Freeman as the guy with the baseball bat teaching the inner city kids.
Oh, he was the principal. Tough love kind of thing.
Right,
principal. Okay,
right.
Harlem. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, Lean on Me. The Bear, I'm not sure. Dream Team, that was Michael Keaton and Christopher Lloyd as Crazy People. All Dogs Go to Heaven. Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee. Sex, Lies, and Videotape, Steven Soderbergh. The Accidental Tourist, Gina Davis won an Oscar for that. Tango and Cash, Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone. Naked Gun. Nightmare on Elm Street. Maybe one with the numbers. I don't know.
It's got to be 4 because Dream Warriors was like a year or two before.
Okay, yes, this has got to be 4. Let's just double check real quick on that. And then Always, which is Richard Dreyfuss and Sally Field. Cousins Say Anything Dad, The Fly 2, Skin Deep, Casualties of War with Sean Penn, Michael J. Fox. That's the one that David Spade always does the Michael J. Fox impression from. Yeah. Sarge, what are we doing here? That whole thing.
All right.
Yeah. Her Alibi, Fabulous Baker Boys, Prancer, No Holds Barred, Leviathan, She-Devil. That's a Roseanne Barr movie with
Ed
Begley Jr.
Yeah, Ed Begley Jr. Fresh off the hospital show.
Right. Great Balls of Fire.
Oh, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis biopic
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid. That's a great movie.
Yeah, he did him really good.
He really did. That was a really good movie. Let me see. Halloween 5, Police Academy 6, Young Einstein. Who's Harry Crumb? That was another John Candy one. Adventures of Milo and Otis. Okay. Cyborg. That's Jean-Claude Van Damme, if you're into that sort of thing. Yeah. Tequila Sunrise. I believe that's like a Mel Gibson fucking thing. All right.
Not a bad run. All those wouldn't be bad rentals. There's nothing super cringy and super great. It's like, okay.
Here's one. Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Remember that one?
Oh, no, I don't. Is that the Monty Python?
Yeah, Terry Gilliam one. Yeah. No, it's not Monty Python, but I believe it's Terry Gilliam.
One of them. It was somebody from Monty Python.
Yeah. Visually, it's kind of nutty. Adventures of Baron Munchausen is worth a watch. It's interesting. Deep Star 6, Troop Beverly Hills. I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Oh yeah, we like that one. You and I used to
great.
be all baked and watch that one.
That's
we laughed at that.
funny as
We
fuck.
laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Junebug Spade.
Yeah. What was it?
Junebug, remember Junebug Spade?
Junebug, that's right.
He overgolded.
Yeah, he OG'd.
Great.
Yeah, he overgolded. Dead Calm. Remember this one? This introduced us to Nicole Kidman and Sam Neill. And who was the guy that was on it? I think it was like Jason Patrick or something like that.
Huh.
Like Sam Neill and Nicole Kidman, they're out on a sailboat. They come across a shipwreck. They pull the guy on board. He ends up trying to kill him. They break down so many doors. It's a small boat. There's like 50 doors that get broken through. It's fucking nuts. I just remember Dead Calm being like, how many doors are on this boat? Every time we turn around, he's breaking through a door. I'm like, this is nuts. It's like, at best you got 2.
Right.
It's a little sailboat. It's not that big.
And they're flimsy doors.
Right. No, it's nuts. That's it. Johnny Handsome.
I don't know this one. Is it Keaton?
Oh,
Michael
Mickey
Keaton?
Rourke. Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. Okay.
Maybe. Or is that one where Brad Pitt is in it? And it's almost like they patterned Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's what Johnny Handsome is.
it's kind of like Johnny Bravo.
He's got the big blonde pompadour.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Keaton. Are you sure it's not Michael Keaton?
No, I'm pretty sure this is Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
In this one, let me see real quick.
Huh.
Johnny Handsome. More details.
Yeah, I guess Brad Pitt was starting to pop then.
Cast and crew. Walter Hill directed it.
I don't know who that is.
Walter Hill, he directed 48 Hours in the Warriors.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know who he is. Huh, doesn't really say.
All right.
I swear, that's got to be it. All right, anyway. And
That's good enough. Good movie, Ron.
Dream a Little Dream. Remember that one?
Yeah. Well, what do we got for 89? I got some
Born
dumb
on the
stuff.
4th of July. Drugstore Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah, those were bigger. Drive Miss Daisy, Born on the 4th of July. Those were things we should have been mentioning because those were pretty
Well, Driving Miss
notable.
Daisy came out December 13th.
Oh, I see.
So
it's maybe
the
next
next year it wins the Oscar and it gets huge. Like Drugstore Cowboy's out October 6th.
Yeah. All right. What else we got in 89? I got some factoids here.
That's about it. I mean, yeah, that's about it.
I got the old factoid sheet here. Guess what's going to happen in 89? It's funny. In the factoid sheets, what we just talked about, guess what made the list?
What?
Was the Seinfeld premiere and the Little Mermaid released.
Yes, because
It was such a big deal. And the first episode of The Simpsons.
right. Because Seinfeld premiered, but nobody cared. It was the Seinfeld Chronicles.
Yeah.
And if you remember, the whole point was, in the beginning, they showed Jerry doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And he gives the premise for a joke. Then the episode unfolds, and it shows you how the joke came to be, because it's something that's based on his real life.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the show, it's Jerry on stage again, telling the punchline to the joke.
All right.
That's why it was called the Seinfeld Chronicles. And I believe the classic example of this was the episode where they go to the Chinese restaurant and they have to wait for a table or something like that.
Yeah.
Because he does the setup, yeah, we go to the restaurant, you have to wait. And then it's them waiting at the Chinese restaurant. Whatever, I
Right.
forget the episode. And at the end, he's,
And you can see how, it didn't translate super great because the characters were still getting carved out. But you can see in the writing room how when him and Larry wrote it, that's exactly it. It fulfilled the vision, but the vision needed to be taken a step farther.
right. What's it? Because it's almost like, what the fuck is?
You got a leaky cup.
There's shit all over the table. Am I bleeding? What the fuck is
No,
happening?
it's just water.
No, there's red stuff all over the table. Oh, something on the back of my phone. What the fuck?
Hey, what do you got on the back of your phone there? Blood. Blood. Murder. Unsolved mysteries. Okay, let's get into 89. What do we got? So we got
lipstick or something.
Ew.
Crayon or something.
89, Fall of the Berlin Wall.
Finally.
Finally, November 9th it happened.
Well, yeah. So the Berlin Wall fell in 89, but I think it was like 91 that the Soviet Union sort of gave up on stuff.
They had the Tiananmen Square protest, the China democracy thing.
You know that whole thing? People go, oh, they had the Tiananmen Square protest. It wasn't. It was a massacre. Everybody knows that image of the fucking dude standing in front of the tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kill him in like thousands.
Yeah, they just, basically anybody who said, we don't, They're trying to...
Shout out show on YouTube to The China Show. Hashtag The China Show. Go watch The China Show.
Ooh, yeah, well, hashtag that.
Those guys speak Chinese. They lived in China for like 15 years. Like, they're like, no, that's a massacre. Like in the West, you didn't see it. But it's a fucking massacre. To this day, China scrubs the internet about it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fucking assholes.
Yeah, watch The China Show.
Let's see, the end of the Cold War, blah, blah, blah. Okay, other revolution. Here we go. U.S. invades Panama. Oh, here was a big one. The Exxon Valdez oil spill. Remember that?
Shit,
that was the first of the big oil spills.
First of the big oil spills, yeah. And because they got sued for it.
Yeah. It was I didn't realize it was in Alaska. Prince William Sound in Alaska.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. All right, here we go. The World Wide Web was proposed. It was just an idea submitted, like, hey, what do you think about this whole idea? And everyone was like, yeah, right, Johnson.
Because it was like, what, connecting like 5 or 7 universities?
Yeah. Well, but although at the same time, guess what came out? The Nintendo Game Boy.
Wow, Game Boy was 89, yeah.
Yeah, it was released in North America. It was a cultural phenomenon, all right.
And it had a monochrome screen. No, it was like an LCD screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Let's see, the Game Boy. Oh, the Intel microprocessor, whatever chip. Indigo Daylight, Indigo Nightlight. This invention allowed easy readability of watch dials in the dark.
Oh, okay.
So it was the backlit watch?
Yeah, remember that sort of bluish one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have thought that would have been way sooner than that, but
right?
Yeah.
When you first started saying it, I was thinking of the little night lights that plug in that are sort of that bluish thing.
I know.
But now you're talking about the watch.
Yeah, the watch.
And then when you first said the watches, I was thinking the little glow in the dark bits that they put on the dials.
Yeah.
But it's Indiglow, and they started to be like backlit blue where the whole watch face was
Indiglow
glowing.
night light for watches. Yeah.
Weird.
Okay. All right. Let's see what. Oh, here's some inventions. Barnyard Commandos. What is that? I don't know.
I don't know if it was just like a animated show or
Barnyard Commandos.
if they had, like action figures or something like that.
Yeah. Computer. The Game Boy. Oh, Digitech Whammy came out. The whammy pedal.
Oh, the whammy pedal.
Yeah, we know that one real well.
Wow.
All you computer guitar nerds out there will know that one. Honey Bunches of Oats.
Oh, I remember when this came out.
How about Huggies Pull-Ups?
I remember when this came out. That was a big
I
thing.
was wearing them.
No, it was a big thing because remember they had the fucking jingle.
Yeah, and there was the kids running around with the diaper,
I'm a big kid now.
Mommy,
Remember
wow.
That? Yeah.
Mommy, wow, I'm a big kid now.
I forgot about that, Mommy, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole thing about the pull-ups. Because before that, it was just little sticky tabs. So if the kid pulled it off, you got to get another fucking diaper, and diapers are expensive.
Right. Yeah. And this is just, they put them on like little pants. Yeah, they're like,
pants. Yeah, I guess it was like the next step in the...
Yeah, so make the kid have a little individuality, so mom didn't have to help out with the pants. They could pull them on.
Yeah, and it was probably next year that they started putting cartoon characters on them, like Cookie Monster.
Oh, I'm sure. Little
like
Mermaid. Yeah.
Yeah, Little Mermaid. Yeah, no shit.
Keystone Beer.
Wait. Keystone Beer started in 89?
The beer brand Keystone in 89.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was around
Here's
all
one.
the time.
The Lunchables and Kid Cuisine.
Wait, Lunchables started. I remember when this started.
Lunchables.
Because talk about Gen X being latchkey kids, man. Yeah,
We
you guys
had
got
Lunchables.
Lunchables because of us.
Yeah, and Lunchables were terrible because they weren't. I had to eat
terrible.
like 3 of them.
Well, that and God, they always made me sick. They were just so processed.
Yeah, the little pepperoni and the cracker and everything like that. I got it was so little, and I had to eat like 4 of them, and then I get heartburn.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the pepperoni was weird.
You, me, and Rome, we could fucking pound food, man. Holy shit.
Yeah. It's probably because we were on the weeds. Let's see. Kid cuisine. Koosh ball. I don't know what a koosh ball is. Is that a squeezy ball?
No, the koosh ball is, I don't know what's at the core, but it's like all just like rubber like hairs, rubber tendrils.
Oh, that's right.
And you kind of play hacky sack with it.
Yeah. And then they had like glowy ones. I think there was ones too that later on had like little flashing lights on it, and they had like little lights that would come up through.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Lego Pirates, Nantucket Nectars. I was going to ask you about that. Do you know what Nantucket Nectars are?
Nantucket Nectars?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I wonder if this is this around the time of where the wine coolers, the Bartles and James wine coolers?
Ooh, you might be right. You might be right. That might
because
be.
Isn't it because we've done the Pepsi Free, the Pepsi Clear? Isn't this getting into like the Zima?
And the Bartles and James.
James.
Zimas are going to be like 91. They're coming up though. We're getting close to them. But you're right. Bartles and James wine coolers.
I think it's right around this time. So that may be an early precursor.
Nantucket Nectars. You're right. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
That's a good guess if it's not.
Yeah.
All right. The Polly Pockets. I remember those.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
And this is one I was going to. Well, Reebok Pump. Okay, whatever. This is one I was going to ask you. What is this? The Seattle-style hot dog. What's a Seattle-style hot dog?
I have no idea.
I was going to ask you to Goog that before I throw this paper away.
All right, let me see real
Goog
quick.
the Seattle style. What do they consider? It's got a lot of rain on it. No, I don't know. Yeah. Looking it up, Seattle style.
All right. Overview. A Seattle-style hot dog, also known as a Seattle dog, is a griddled frankfurter on a toasted bun.
Okay.
Layered with cream cheese and grilled onions.
Ew.
The dog is usually sliced down the middle before grilling.
So is this style of grilling more?
Yeah, they're sold from food carts outside stadiums on game day and as a late night meal outside the city's music venues.
All right.
Seattle dog or a bagel dog, apparently. Yeah, typically grilled, and the hoagie roller bun is toasted.
Okay.
The use of cream cheese, this is from Wikipedia. The use of cream cheese defines the Seattle-style hot dog. Sellers sometimes use pistol grip sauce dispensers to quickly add the thick cream cheese.
I don't like cream cheese, but if I was into cream cheese, that would be all right.
Grilled onions are one of the most popular additions. Other toppings include jalapenos or jalapenos. And other peppers, sauerkraut or grilled cabbage, and scallions. Condiments such as mustard, American yellow or spicy brown, barbecue sauce, and sriracha sauce are favorites.
Nice.
While ketchup is used less often.
All right, so anything, stay away from ketchup. So basically you're looking at a toasted hoagie roll for your thing, and then grilled and split is your dog. And then your onions. And then everything else. Say mustard and sriracha would be. Yeah, I don't know about that. I would have put onions, sriracha. I could go mustard and sriracha would be cool.
Talk about stoners.
Sounds like a giant heartburn waiting to happen, though.
God, it does.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like heartburn. I could see liking it after a night of drinking to be fantastic, but then waking up in the middle of the night with raging heartburn. Like, where are the Tums? Mom, Greg, can I have some Tums? All right, before we go, we're right on schedule. We are actually a little ahead of schedule. This is not going to be a best-worst list this week, Mike. We got something better. Well, not even better. We got something different.
Move over, bacon.
All right, move over. Pepperoni's in town.
That's it. Or no, was it...
Bacon strips? No. Move over, bacon. Where you got...
Was it sausages?
No. Dog
no,
treats.
bacon strips.
Yeah.
No.
Bacon. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one. We're going to go top 10 list. We're going 10 down to number 1. And these...
So this is like in honor of the old David Letterman top 10 list.
We'll do top 10s, yeah. But I got 2 for honorable mentions, which it's actually 12. But the 2 I'm going to mention are going to get us started.
All right.
To get you in the vibe.
All right.
And these are lies/myths.
Lies and myths.
That our parents told us that we still might believe today.
Oh, shit. So wait, how can I phrase this for the title?
Well, we don't give away a good one, so
parental myths.
Parental myths
/ lies.
Yeah. All right, here I'll do 2 examples. Here's a good example. Cracking your knuckles will lead to arthritis.
Arthritis. Yeah.
True or false? What do you think?
I don't know, but because of it, I try not to crack my knuckles.
I know. Same here. That's why I never crack my knuckles, and I usually tell people, dude, don't do it. Especially I tell my guitar player friends, stop cracking your knuckles. You're going to get arthritis.
And my understanding of arthritis is that when the tendons get out of the groove in the bones it's supposed to be in, and it starts cutting its own groove in the bone. That's what arthritis is, and that's why it's painful.
I don't know.
So, but I know that the more you crack your knuckles, the more you have to crack your knuckles. So yeah,
so they say. Well, that's a falsehood.
I just made it a point not to do that.
I didn't realize that was false. That was a false thing that I actually believed that it would lead to it. But what it will lead to though is the only closest thing will a less hand grip. It could weaken your hand grip long term wise, but it's not going to lead to arthritis. So there's a myth. Myth busted. All right. Here's another 12. Here's number 11. What do you think? True or false? Don't ever wake up a sleepwalker.
Boy, this one fascinates me because I know nothing about sleepwalking. I find it
I'm a
fascinating.
sleepwalker.
Yeah, you've had issues with it where
many.
you're like doing shit while you're asleep.
I used to carry on conversations with my mom. My mom's told me stories of me walking out in the front yard and talking.
Really?
Even to this day, with Tina's seen me on camera and everything, walking around and talking and doing stuff down in the living room in the dark.
That is fascinating.
I don't even know, yeah.
Can we get some of that footage?
Probably. She might. I don't know if she saved it, but it wouldn't be probably hard to muster up. She might have saved it.
I mean, is there a way that we can like get it on like an SD card or something like that?
Maybe. I'll have to ask her.
Yeah. Look into that.
Just because I know there's cam footage. There was of me like walking out in the living room and just standing there.
Because I've seen you've sent me cam footage of your dog fucking getting weird on with the couch and shit.
Right.
You're like, look at the dog. He does this while no one's looking.
Right. Yeah.
He was like sticking his face in it, like just weird shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm fascinated with the sleepwalking sort of stuff because I know nothing about it, but it
so is it a myth?
So weird to me
To wake up a sleepwalker.
Well, that's always been the thing that they say.
Don't touch those sleepwalker. We'll go berserk.
Yeah, I mean.
Or they put it in movie tropes, like a movie trope, like. Oh.
Yeah, like is it because they're gonna snap out and they could attack you, or is it because it could be such a shock to them that that they sort of like snap and like they're disoriented, or gives them a heart attack or something?
Well, that's a fault. They say don't ever wake up a sleepwalker is true, but it's not because you're endangering the sleepwalker themselves. It's more risky for you because they could have unpredictable. But statistics have shown that they aren't going to be swinging and fighting. It's just they'll just be more disoriented.
Yeah.
It's just more disorientation and confusion as opposed to violent reactions.
And I've heard that having that sort of thing is not too dissimilar. Where it's like the thing in your body that's supposed to shut off your body when you're sleeping, so that you can dream without the body reacting to the thoughts.
Yeah.
Is the same sort of disconnect that you get when you're falling asleep at night and then you sort of drift off into a light sleep and then you like jerk awake real quick.
Yeah.
It's that same sort of disconnect between, it's like
REM sleep and deep sleep, like you're in between REM and deep.
Yeah, because it's some sort of disconnect between when your body falls asleep and your brain falls asleep.
Yeah. You're right. It's not at the same level. Yeah. So those are two myths.
Heard or read that.
All right, so we'll go with number 10. Here we go. Here's a myth. What do you think? True or false? You can't swim for an hour after you eat. Remember that? Remember the parents telling you that one?
Because you'll get cramps.
Right.
Which...
What do you think?
I've had it happen to me. But it's not so much like sitting in a pool bobbing.
Yeah.
At the ocean, where you got to do a lot more physical exertion to swim out there. And you're swimming and you're fighting the tide and that sort of stuff. That sort of physical exertion an hour after eating, yes, you can get a cramp.
Yeah, well, they said statistically, no, it's not a big deal. You can eat all you want and then hop right in the pool.
Because the way people think about this is hopping in a pool, hopping in the pool, you're bobbing. You're not doing anything. You're
Yeah,
not
that's true. Yeah, they didn't mention the ocean factor.
It's the same thing when you're a kid. If you fucking gorf yourself on hot dogs and hamburgers, then you go fucking running right afterwards.
Yeah, we used to go.
You could throw up or get a fucking stitch, a cramp.
Yeah, but we would. I remember eating the 5 fucking hot dogs and then go running through the woods, and I never got cramps. You know.
No.
I could have swam if I wanted to.
It definitely happened.
Remember our parents making us sit it out. It's been a half hour. Can I go in, Dad? No, hold on. You got 20 minutes left. Remember asking your parents, can I go in yet? No, you're not ready yet.
And I definitely remember a couple of times where I got those sort of cramps from
Oh, I never did.
running after,
Yeah, they said that's a myth.
It was back when I was a little kid and you had to do soccer.
Here's a number 9. What do you think? True or false? Gum stays in your stomach for 7 years.
I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah.
Because the acid in your stomach just breaks shit down.
Yeah.
Now the latex may take a while to work itself through your system. The latex that's in the gum, they use a natural.
Well,
rubber.
that's what they say. Here, the 7 years thing's complete bullshit, fact or fiction. Though,
I mean, honestly, to be fair, anytime you hear 7 years, come on.
No, he says maximum 7 days.
But I'm right.
Yeah,
Which
they said, but typically it'll be out of your system because your system moves. It'll be out of your system in 3 to 4. Yeah. But they said, maximum 7 days.
Yeah, but that's 7 years. I mean, anytime you hear the 7 years, it's like, break a mirror, 7 years bad luck, walk under a ladder, 7 years bad luck. 7's
the magic number. Yeah, but the gum, I remember my parents saying, don't swallow your gum, you're going to get a big wad in your gum. And then we'd tell stories about, did you hear about the guy who had to have a wad of gum pulled out of his stomach and it was like a baseball?
The reality is you can fucking just choke on it.
Right, yeah. So, okay, number 8. How about this one for a myth? You eat 7 spiders a year.
7. Anything with a 7's a bullshit.
Yeah. And that's complete fiction.
Right.
Unless they said you could get maybe 1 or 2 a year if you're a heavy camper or outdoors a lot.
Oh, yeah?
But 7's an extreme number. You would literally have to intentionally do it.
I heard it's more likely if you sleep on your back with your mouth open.
Yeah, but even for the spiders to crawl in, the spiders aren't going to crawl in your mouth.
No.
They'll crawl in your ear before they'll crawl in your mouth.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, so that's falsehood. Let's see. How about this one? Number 7. We only use 10% of our brains.
That's what they always say.
That's what they always say. That's what they always say. What do you think, Mike? Fact or fiction?
I got to say that is, I know a little bit about this. Not much, but I think that on a regular basis we use way more of our brains than that. We use probably like 85% of our brains. But I think what they're talking about here is the section of our brain that deals with higher thinking sort of stuff. That sort of area, I think we only use like 10% of the possibility of our brains.
Yeah, no, that whole 10%, that's whole fiction. We use 100% of our brains, and every part of your brain's always active. There's always neurons flying through it, and that whole 10%, whoever said that is full of crap.
No, but I think this is like the Mandela effect type thing, where what they were actually talking about is a very specific part of the brain or a very specific function of the brain.
Hippocampus.
Right. Or like the part that deals with like higher level thinking, more abstract thinking, creative thinking. Though that area of our brain we might only use 10% of, or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, the whole brain itself, because you get one of those EEGs, the electroencephalogram.
You're right.
Which is electro is the machine, the encephalo is your brain, and the gram is being able to read it. Then, your brain's firing all over the place.
All right, here we go to number 6. So 10% of your brains is bullshit. No, we use our whole brains. Okay, number 6, you have to wait 24 hours before reporting a missing person.
Really?
No, is that fact or fiction? You ever hear that one? Like, the cops can't do anything. Your person has to be missing 24 hours before we can file a report. Remember that one you hear in the movie?
And I feel like that was definitely a thing that they did in the 70s where running away was a lot more common.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that was the thing with the teenagers back then. you know, they're like, they ran away. We give them 24 hours to see if they come back before we go doing anything about it.
Yeah, it was more of a social contract, but there is no fact that the police, if you call the police and says, my daughter's missing.
My 7-year-old kid didn't make it home from school today, they're on it.
They're on it. Yeah, there's no 24 hours and file a report. No.
I feel like that was a 70s thing with teenagers.
Yeah, or something like a small town cop would tell a worried mother.
Yeah. They probably went down to the creek or
right.
Hungry.
Give them 24 hours and then we'll talk about it. Yeah. No, that's bullshit. Okay, here's number 5. Did you ever hear this one, that penguins were monogamous?
Yeah, I've heard that.
You've heard that. What do you think? Are they monogamous? Huh.
I mean,
they're dumb birds. I don't know.
I mean, any wild animals, their whole thing is to just reproduce as much as possible.
Yeah, it's food and sex, right? It's reproduce and find more food and then warmth. Find more food to fuck. You know, it's a cycle.
Now, when I think I know a little bit about this. When the penguins pair up and they have an egg, I believe it may be that the male penguin sits on the egg.
That part I didn't get any of that.
And that may be where this monogamous idea comes from?
Well, you're wrong. Penguins are not monogamous. They typically have a mate each year.
Right.
But they do stay they stay with the same mate within the year. The males do.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing. The females can get up to 3. The females rotate. Females are whores.
Yeah.
So they might bounce. So this female might bounce between 2 or 3 different males.
Yeah, and I believe that their gestation period is only 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, they're pretty quick at it.
So the females can have like 3 or 4 babies.
So penguins are not monogamous.
Well,
the women are.
But once again, at the time that they pair up, the male's going to stay with that female, because I think it's a thing where like the male and female get together, they bang, she lays the egg, the guy will sit on the egg,
and she goes out and bangs another one.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think once again, depending on how you look at it and with your little point of view, you can sort of say that, which is technically maybe right.
In the animal kingdom sense, that feels more monogamous than random, like two squirrels banging each other.
And it is odd in the animal world that the male takes the
that is true
parental responsibility sort of situation.
All right, number 4, we're getting down there. How about this, Mike? Can you see the Great Wall of China from space? Myth. There's a myth. We were told you could see the Great Wall of China from space. It's so big.
Yeah, because I know for a fact that there are sections of it that are completely like in ruins, and it's not that big. It's not that high.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, in places it's just
it's false.
6 feet high. Yeah.
You can, although in low orbit you can see it.
Right.
Low orbit space. So we're not talking, but actual space, no, you can't.
Yeah, if it's one of those low orbits where you're like rolling over, you're like, oh, here comes China. Here comes China.
Yeah.
You can see China. You can probably see it from
that. You probably might see a spine going up.
But from actual like non-orbit in space, no.
Yeah, so that's bullshit. Okay. Here's number 3. We're getting down there. Dogs only see in black and white. What do you think? I remember being told that one. Yeah, don't worry. Your dog can't see your red shirt, so don't worry about it. Your dog can only see in black and white.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember. I thought that for a lot of years, that dogs can only see black and white. I didn't realize this one until fairly recent.
I mean, I never really had a dog myself, so I never really spent enough time with him.
You had Princess, the little fucking collie.
That's my mom's dog. It's like at that time,
little lassie.
At that time, I was.
It was like a miniature lassie.
I was going to school and I was working full time and stuff, so I was hardly.
Yeah, and Princess wasn't very interactive. It was just a thing. It was like moving furniture.
Yeah.
So no, dogs see colors, but they have a strength in seeing yellows, blues, and grays. So it'd almost be like saying.
They're sort of red-green colorblind.
Yeah, but they're seeing colors. It'd almost be like, but the yellows are stronger for some reason. But their sense of depth is better, and they see peripheral movement better than you and I would, you know. And we're pretty good at seeing things out of peripheral, but they could see movement and color variations. So yes, dogs do not see in black and white.
I'll
they
throw
can see
an extra
color.
fact on that. Your eyes work with cones and rods. The cones are the ones I believe in the middle that give you focus in here, and the rods are peripheral vision.
Cones and rods.
Yeah.
That might be the title. All right, here we go. How about this? Number 2. Remember our parents telling us this one? Eat your carrots. They're going to help your vision. They're good for your eyes. Yeah, carrots. Yeah. What do you think of that one?
I think that one is true because they're high in like vitamin E, which is good for your eyes or something like that. No?
That's falsehood. It's bullshit. Basically, vitamin A is good for your eyes.
Vitamin A.
Yeah, vitamin A. Which everything has vitamin A in a lot of fruits and vegetables.
Except
carrot. Carrot doesn't have shit. Carrots. In fact, carrots are probably not good for, well, they're not bad for your eyes, but they do not help your eyes in any way. There's plenty of other vegetables that are way better for your eyes with vitamin A. So carrots don't help. And number 1, this one, we used to always get this one. You're sitting too close to the TV. It's going to damage your eyesight. You remember watching TV real close?
That one...
Is it going to damage your eyes? Does sitting too close to the TV damage your eyes?
It can if you're really close to the TV in those old TVs with the cathode ray tubes.
Well, they said no. They said, although you could strain your eyes, but the strain would be temporary and will go back. It's not... There's no rays, there's no blindness, there's no, but you will strain your eyes by doing that because you're trying to get focus.
Yeah.
So yes, you'll get headaches and you'll get eye strain, but the eye strain is temporary.
Yeah.
So sitting too close to the, it's not like sitting too close in front of the microwave,
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with the radiation because that actually excites the water. So your eyeballs are just water. So if you're watching the microwave and so close to it,
you're boiling your eyes.
You're boiling your eyes.
Oh boy. Well, how about that for a list? So lies and myths our parents told us. That's a fun little list.
There you go.
All right, it's the Dukecast. You guys have been hanging in there. We had a good, fun one today. We got a lot done.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
You guys who watched it all the way through, you guys are rock stars. Like it. Subscribe it, comment.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, share it with your friends. And I guess that's it.
Let's do it. Let's get out of here. See you next week, kids.